Hi, friends. Happy Tuesday. It is the last Tuesday of the month, and it's our last Dream Team chat of September. And I think Bree and I are talking about something that is really important in your Scentsy business, and that is knowing how to front load your month, front load the upcoming month. Ensure that your upcoming month is set up for success. That is what front loading is in a nutshell. But there's a lot that goes into it. And so before Bree dives in, I just want to state that we're going into October, and in the Scentsy world, October is extremely busy. September has been extremely busy. We are in our new fall and winter catalog. Our harvest collection is going strong. Our holiday collection is launching. We have limited time offers coming left and right, and it's really exciting for us, for our customers, for our teammates. It's just a really exciting and busy time. Okay. And while we talk all night about setting your business up for success, being efficient, having habits and systems that help you, I think it's important to mention that during this busy season, you also get tired. And it is very easy to burn yourself out when you are going nonstop without rest or without direction or without a plan. And so it's really important that you have your plan and you have your direction, which is what we're going to talk about tonight. But in addition to that, that you are also planning out your rest. Okay. And that can look like small little bits every single day, which is what I do. Admittedly, once it hits 3 o'clock, like I'm pretty much done working for the afternoon. I might do a few things on my phone, but that's it for me, right? Or in Tuesday nights, I'm showing up here in the evening, but 3 o'clock, like that's the end of my work day. And that allows me to rest and spend time with my family, have quality time, decompress, walk away from my office and my obligations and such. Okay. And that's what it looks like during the week, but that doesn't mean that I won't be partying on Saturday evenings or working here and there. But for the most part, I can draw those boundaries and rest, right? Additionally, some weekends, like on a Saturday or a Sunday, I'm not doing any Scentsy work at all. I have my social media posts covered. I'm active and have a presence there, but I'm not packing orders. I'm not following up. I'm not like scheduling posts and content or doing trainings. I'm resting. And so I think in the hustle and bustle season where we are running towards our goals, we are trying to get paid at title, hit those promotions, sponsor all the people, help all the people, train all the people, sell all the Scentsy. I think it's really important that we are also resting intentionally. So before we dive into all of the hows, I just wanted to make that very clear for you guys as well.
Perfect.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go right into front loading your calendar. And we're just going to be talking tonight about the ways that you can do that and the ways that frankly you should be doing that in the areas of your business. And so all of this I feel like applies to everybody because these are all things in your business that you should be looking at your calendar and figuring out where is this going to fit. And hear me when I tell you that's exactly what front loading is. It is about recognizing what time you have, what space you have, and how you are going to manage all of these different business activities, all of these different income producing activities. How are you going to manage all of that? What does it look like to input it into your calendar? What does it look like to have the conversations on the front end so that you know exactly what's coming up? Okay. And so the first thing is booking Blitz or having a booking if anybody was here in 2017 and remembers Alex's cats meowing at her house to go outside, this is just deja vu for you. Okay, booking Blitz. So now is a really great time. Like Alex said in the very beginning of the Stream Team chat, we have 4 full days left of September. Okay, and in those 4 days, if you're wondering, okay, like I'm getting ready for October. What else can I be doing to like make my October really great? I've got my eye on a promotion. I've got my eye on earning Hawaii, whatever the case may be. You should be asking your people to host parties. You should be putting yourself in a position where you're having a booking blitz or you're texting your teammates and creating a booking blitz or power hour next Monday, we're doing a booking blitz. Like, I'm not saying we are, but like creating those opportunities or just challenging yourself to spend 15 minutes tomorrow texting your local customers, asking them if they want to host a party, or texting 15 people and asking them if they want to do a Facebook party. Like any form of events, parties, Facebook parties, grab and go parties, anything like that counts to me as a booking opportunity, and you should be working on that not just this month for next month, but every single month. But especially now in this season, you guys, people want Scentsy, people want fragrance, people want these products in the fall and winter. Why? Because they're home in the fall and winter, right? It's about to start cooling down at some point. Texas will get the memo. It's about to start cooling down. People love the cozy bakery fall winter scents. Okay, they want their homes to smell good when their family comes over for Thanksgiving. They want their homes to smell good when people come over for Christmas. They want to give gifts for Christmas that are usable and nice, and Scentsy is all of those things. And so if you think that even if your people said no, I don't want to party for the last 6 months, you should still be asking them again in this season, because I literally have customers who are like fall and winter customers, right? Where they don't typically buy from me during the spring and summer. I can't even get them to respond. But in the fall and winter, they're like pounding down my door for orders or to book a party. And so you really, really need to just extend the ask, and be willing to step out of your comfort zone, willing to accept a no, and offering up every type of party event that you can. Okay, so whatever that looks like. We've talked about parties. I'm not really going to go into a whole lot of that. Events, all of those things. We've given you guys resources on how to find those. Please be diligent in doing so, because obviously it helps your business in tremendous ways in multiple different facets. So booking parties, okay? Front loading your calendar. That's part of that, right? Okay. And then the next part is something that I really, really love to do. It's scheduling your content. Okay. What are you posting? What are you going to be posting about in October? Now, a really cool thing happens at the first of every single month, and it's where we get the planning ahead document. Okay. And so we get access to that on the first, and that gives us insight into what's coming in the Scentsy world. Right. And I love the planning ahead document. In fact, it's what we use to talk to our leaders about what we're talking about here on the team page. But we also use it in our business regularly, because Scentsy tells us this is when this is going to launch. This is when this is going to launch. This is when you're going to have early access to this consultant. And so that is such an easy document for you to snag on the first, pull out your calendar, and be able to write those things in. So you know exactly what's coming. And so then you can say, okay, this is coming on Monday. I'm going to start talking about it on Thursday. So I have my content scheduled for the weekend. Okay, nothing's launching on Monday, or I don't know what's launching on Monday. So, you know, that Monday through Wednesday, when I don't know what's launching, I'm going to be talking about the holiday collection this week, right? And you can start scheduling out that content now. You can start scheduling out your content as far out as you want, because you have access to all of that, right? And so scheduling out your content really helps to be able to free up your time, especially if you are trying to be more mindful about the time that you spend on your phone, like me. I'm really trying to be mindful about that, especially in certain areas of my life or certain times of the day. And now I'm kind of doing a little bit of work outside the home. And so I have to be super mindful of time management and how I'm utilizing the time that I do have for my business. What does it look like for me to schedule my content out on social media so that my customers, I'm still engaged with them, that I'm still getting information out to them, and they're still getting the content that they're used to throughout this busy season. So whether anything's changed for you or not, it's a busy season, and scheduling out your content is just going to be a benefit for you when, you know, little Johnny has 6 Halloween parties this next month, because schools are weird like that and like to plan out a million things during the busiest season of the year. And so when all of that is going on, you can already know exactly where your business is landing as far as content goes and social media, and you can start working on plugging in when you're going to schedule out that content. And then on top of that, we do post content calendars. We've been doing that for the last couple of months. A lot of really other amazing leaders create these content calendars that says, hey, Sunday the 1st, we're talk about the holiday collection. Monday the 2nd, talk about Scentsy Club. Tuesday, you know, and they give you something to talk about every single day. And it's perfect for people who may struggle with like, what do I post today? And it's okay to struggle with that. The more that you do it and putting yourself on a schedule like that is super helpful, and there's nothing wrong with it. So we will continue to share the content calendars, but if you create one, we'd love to see it too. But yes, creating a content calendar that you have in front of you so you never are questioning what's ahead. Okay. And then planning for your PRV. Okay. So this is like the big thing, the overarching theme of this talk, front loading your calendar. It is planning for your PRV. It's planning for your team, that content, sponsoring, all those things. But basically it comes down to, where's your PRV coming from next month? Like, can you confidently say that if your goal is 3,000 PRV next month, you know where majority of that's coming from? Right? Can you look at your Scentsy Club order history or order tab and be able to nail down where that PRV is coming from and be able to add it into what you expect to happen in your monthly PRV? Do you do boxes monthly? Do you do scent crates? Do you do things that contribute to your PRV on a monthly basis that you can say, okay, I'm going to launch this. I'm going to close my box on the 9th. And I know that I'll get at least 10 boxes, right? So I know that accounts for 300 PRV. So I can lock that in. Okay. I've got a home party on the 15th. I'm shooting for 500. So I can add that into my PRV. I've got $700 worth of Scentsy Club orders. Okay. I know where that's coming from. Right.
And let me add, I follow up every Monday and Friday. So
Right.
hopefully following up, I'll get these orders.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
I'm going to continue to ask for parties and ask for referrals and ask for clubs. So my goal is 3 new clubs, right? That's all part of planning for your PRV as well. It's what you have, and then also what you're working on as well.
Right. And it's so important that we do this all the time, but it is like, I do this more truthfully. I do this much more during an incentive, right? Because my PRV is point for point here, right? And so I need to know where my PRV is coming from, how much exactly I'm going to get, or whatever my goal is. I need to make sure I'm hitting that. So if I look at my month and I go, okay, I know this is for certain. And I think there's a tracker out there. I'll try to find it, but I think that there's a tracker where it's like, this is for sure PRV. This is the PRV that I need to be at, and this is the gap. So then you fill in the gap of like, okay, so I need to I would love to book a party, or I need to book 2 parties, or I need to get 6 people signed up for Scentsy Club, or I need to sell 20, mystery grab bags or whatever, right? And so being able to every month look at the map of your month and really nail down where your PRV is coming from. I mean, it is that simple. And there are obviously a lot of variables that we can't know, like a launch. It's like, okay, the launch is happening, but I don't know how much PRV I'm going to get from it. And so that's why the limited time offers are just extras. That's why we can't depend on a limited time only to be the primary source of our PRV that month. Sometimes that ends up happening. Sometimes you get a really great LTO and all of a sudden it's 1,000 PRV, and that's great. But that is meant to be extra. The bread and butter of your PRV and your business should be coming from 2 areas, in my opinion. It should be coming from catalog, but included in that is like parties where you're taking the catalog, right? But catalog items and Scentsy Club, right? Because those are the 2 things that you really have control over. Those are the 2 things that are consistent across the board. You have Scentsy Club and all the things that it offers, and you have the ability to communicate that with your customers and share the benefits and perks of Scentsy Club with them. Obviously, you can't force them to sign up, but you need to be having that conversation with every single customer. And then you have the catalog. There is never not anything to share, right? So if you're like, man, I don't know where my PRV is going to be coming from, I have a huge gap, whatever, all you need to do is pull out your catalog, start flipping through the pages, start texting your customers pictures, right? Start making intentional content centered around the catalog. Okay, you can't depend, and that's why we're talking about this now, because I know that the planning ahead document is coming on the first. You don't need to wait till the first, right? Because those LTOs are on top of what you are already planning for tonight, today, tomorrow. You don't need the LTOs to make your goal. That should just be extra. So you need to know where your paycheck's coming from. Like truly, like you're getting paid off of these sales. And so you have to work your business accordingly.
Yep. So good. And so truly like that in essence is front loading, figuring out where is your PRV coming from specifically in this upcoming month, right? September's almost over. So in these next 4 days, we need to be closing out September and planning for October. Okay. And Bree touched on this a little bit, but I'm going to talk about Scentsy Club first of all. As far as front loading goes, Scentsy Club is an amazing asset for your business because it's reoccurring PRV that you're not having to follow up with every single month, chase after every single month, collect payment for every single month. It's just happening kind of behind the scenes. Not to say that you didn't spend some time and some work setting that up and building the trust factor and sharing the perks, right? That's an ongoing thing. But once that is set up, really the relationship builds from there and it's less work on your end. Chasing it every month, right? So Scentsy Club to me is a really beautiful business building tool that everyone every month should be working on increasing their Scentsy Club subscribers. Scentsy Club is such an amazing way to have your PRV secured. And what I really love is that you're able to go to the orders tab and look at your Scentsy Club and see whose Scentsy Club is processing next month. You can go in and see what's in their club. You can see if they skipped their club. And so that's a really visible way to see, okay, so I know in October I have 14 clubs processing, and I know that as of right now, I'm going to get 400 PRV from these clubs, right? That is an amazing business tool for you. That is 400 PRV that you just have coming every month or every other month or every 3 months from your loyal customers who are loving Scentsy. And that is a really good thing. Okay. And your goal should always be to add 1 or 2 more people every month to your Scentsy Club list. Okay. Because what happens is Scentsy Clubbers usually join at some point in time. So then you're going to lose them as a clubber at some point of time. Things happen and maybe clubs fall off, right? And so, and also you're trying to just increase your PRV regardless. And so adding new club members to me is always a main focus. That's why I spend every single Sunday doing Scentsy Club Sunday in my customer group. It is a targeted focus on this amazing program we have because I know I love seeing that I just made 1,000 PRV from my Scentsy Clubbers the month previous, right? That's making $300 just off of like auto subscriptions on my website. That's pretty awesome. That's a really great way for you to know where your PRV is coming from. Okay. And so if you guys are not highlighting Scentsy Club, making Scentsy Club a priority, talking to your customers, recommending it to your customers, Scentsy Club is an amazing tool for your business that makes it very simple to front load your calendar and then also give you a goal to continue growing that. Okay. So I can't talk about Scentsy Club enough. I think it's such a beautiful business building tool that really needs to be utilized. And then especially when you're looking at your upcoming month, I really love that it's right there. You know what orders are coming and that's really cool. So Scentsy Club is really awesome. And then Brie also mentioned this too, talking about LTO launches, right? These are the icing and sprinkles on top of your business. These are not supposed to be the foundation of your business. And like Brie said, sure, there are some months where, man, Harry Potter's launching and I find out that I have a huge customer base of Harry Potter fans, right? And that's awesome, but that's not every single month. And we cannot just solely rely on LTO launches, okay? However, you can pencil them into your calendar. You can know that they're coming and plan for them and get excited for them. like, for example, we have the breast cancer collection launching on the 1st, right? That's a really near and dear collection to a lot of people. I think it's going to be a very popular collection. And so, yeah, I bought some marketing tools and some stuff for my customers who purchased that collection. I'm excited for that. I know that they'll be excited for that collection. And so, yes, I'm penciling that into my schedule. I'm intentionally marketing that, but I am not betting on a certain amount of PRV from that because I just don't know how it's going to land with my customers. I don't know if it's going to sell out 2 minutes in and I won't be able to fulfill it for my customers. Okay. So leave room for those LTOs. Know that that's an intentional part of your business planning. Put those launches on your calendar, advertise for them, get excited for them, grab a shirt with your Harry Potter shirt and get excited. Right? But know that this is not the foundation of your business. The foundation of your business should be customer service, parties or events or fundraisers or club or any other certain way that you work your business with the products that are always available. Okay. We have so many products, so many product lines that you can't forget about those because those are always going to be there. Those aren't going to sell out from under you. Okay. Those aren't going to be a mad dash. Those are your basics that are always going to be there. But the LTOs are really fun too. And they do provide a great little boost of PRV. And here's a little tip for you. LTOs sell much more when you are consistent in your business all the time.
Yes.
And not just when there's a LTO.
Yes.
Not just when there's Harry Potter and you have Harry Potter customers. So all of a sudden here you are out of the woodworks working your business for Harry Potter and then Harry Potter's gone and you don't work your business anymore. Okay. Yeah, you might get a burst of 200 PRV,
But that's not the goal.
no, that's not the goal.
Yeah.
And if you are working your business consistently, that could be 2000 PRV.
Yeah.
Right. So do not just rely on LTOs to work your business. Please, coming as your leader, telling you that for your customers. Okay. Because the goal is to build a trust factor and they want to be able to trust and rely on you always, not just when there's a launch. Okay. And then the last bit for me, for us tonight, for our dream team chat is front loading. How are you leading your team? Okay. So this is something Brie and I very intentionally always plan out at the end of every single month. We just spent some time yesterday doing this exactly. We have it on our calendar every last Monday of the month. We're getting together to plan out our leadership content for the month ahead. Okay, that's these trainings here, things we're focusing on the team page, emails that we're sending our team, ways that we're connecting, any campaigns or programs that we're doing, get-togethers that we're planning with our team. We are intentionally planning on how we're leading our team. Now, you might say, I don't have a big team. I only have 3 people. Great. Okay. You can plan to show up to the dream team chats every Tuesday. You can plan on doing PRV shout outs a few times a month. You can plan on sharing how you're working on the team pages, right? It doesn't have to be some big grand, you're making programs and plans and all the things. You can if you want, but it certainly is not a requirement. You can still lead in a very beautiful way by showing up as a leader. Okay. And so I want you guys to ask yourself, how am I showing up for my team? What is my plan this month? And that is really cool because then it creates habits and accountability for next month and the month after that and the month after that. Okay.
And I just want to say something because this is based off of a conversation I had with another leader yesterday about this idea for leaders who might tell themselves like, okay, I feel like what I'm posting about on the team page is redundant. I don't know if people are watching. When I reach out to my team, I get crickets. And so, does it even really matter if I show up? Because I don't feel like they're paying attention. But here's the thing. Just like with our customers, where we say, you continue to provide good customer service until they tell you to stop, whether there's a response or not, right? The same is said for our team. There are people in my downline who I reach out to who I'm good friends with and I don't get a response from them when it's about Scentsy business, or there's people who I don't know that I reach out to and I don't get a response from. If you have never, oh my gosh, Get mad at each other. If you have never forgotten to respond to somebody in a text message, go ahead and raise your hand. Actually, go ahead and clap for yourself because that is amazing. But I have forgotten to respond to people. Matter of fact, I forget almost daily to respond to people. And so the truth of the matter is that whether they forget, whether they're too busy, whether they are just flat out ignoring you, okay? The reality of it is that you should be reaching out to your team for 2 reasons, okay? This should be your goal. 1, to reach out, to have relationship, to build connection, to be there, to show up to them one-on-one, personally, whatever, okay? But then also to build credibility for yourself as a leader. Because what I would not encourage you to do is to all of a sudden come out of the woodwork and start advising your team on how to work their business, and they turn around to the team page and you're nowhere to be found. Or they go to your Facebook profile and they don't see you working your Scentsy business at all. Right? And so what should happen when you reach out to your team is whether they know who you are, whether you've reached out to them before. I know some people are like, well, I've never reached out to this person before. I'm getting back into my leadership. How do I go about that? Build your credibility first. And you may say that that doesn't matter, but the reality of it is that if you reach out to them and they're like, who's this person? Or I don't know how I feel about this. Am I just a number to this person? But then they go to the team page and you have been posting content on there and you have been hyping people up and you've been providing tips and you've been present on the team page, or you've been present in other areas, sharing how you're working your business, whatever. There's a credibility there that prompts that might prompt a response. You're going to have a better chance at a response in that regard than not, right?
And because they trust you. It's the same thing for your customers, right? You're providing value to your customers and building the relationship and the trust factor. It is the exact same for your team. Okay. Now we can't make anyone work. Nope. It's not our job to chase anyone down. It's not our job to make someone want to work their business more. None of that is our job. We're showing up as a leader because we care and because we are there working our business too.
Yeah. And like literally at the end of the day, you are only in control of you.
Yep.
So if you are not doing the things that you are in control of, then what are you doing? You know, like, I mean, truly, you are in control of reaching out to your team. And as a leader of certain titles, Scentsy does require it. Okay. And if you are a director and above, we talk about that. But like a leader of certain titles, you are required to reach out to your team. Okay. But you can reach out to your team and provide training resources and content for them. Those are your responsibilities. Those are what you are in control of. But none of that is going to matter to Bill, Bob, or Susan if you are not actively engaged in your own business. If you are not creating credibility, if you're not creating an access to trust with them, then you're missing a vital part of that leadership portion. Okay. And so especially if you have a smaller team, I mean, it doesn't really matter. The content can all be the same because we're not asking. I used to be a leader back in the day who I'm like, I only have 20 people. I can spend a Wednesday reaching out to every single frontline. But I'm going to tell you now that if that's you, if you have a smaller team, it's great. Like you can do that, but just know in your head to start putting into place systems in your business that you can replicate with 100 people, that you can replicate with 500 people, that you can do with 1,000 people. Because if your goal is to keep growing, then you're going to keep growing. And all of a sudden you're going to be looking at a list of 700 people going, this would take me 2 months to reach out to everybody. So you need to start creating systems where you are reaching out to your team or creating content or figuring out what that's going
content.
Yeah. Showing up for literally, I should just go back to what she said. One of the easiest ways that you can show up for your team is coming or providing training for them.
Yep. And then let me take it down a few notches, although let me just provide a different perspective of this matter, if you'll only have one person on your team or maybe none, okay, you can still front load in this part by developing habits and systems to grow your team, right? So that might look like having a goal for join conversations per week, setting aside time, you follow up, you schedule posts, you take nice pictures, you're partying, right? But are you setting aside time for join conversations? Do you have a join conversation goal per week to maybe talk to like 3 or 5 people a week about joining, right? Are you watching trainings on how to expand your network, grow your team, right? If you have 1 or 2 teammates and you feel like you are checking in with them and you're showing up to dream team chats and they are too, and you're sharing how you're working and all of that's great. Are you figuring out ways to build your leadership, to sponsor more people, to get those people? Are you working with those people to get them sponsoring, right? This doesn't have to be a big and scary ask for you as a leader or even not as a leader, right? We don't want to scare anyone away from building an amazing, incredible business, but it does take intention and consistency to grow your team and show up for your team. You cannot just sponsor and just let them fly. Okay. It's just not fair for them, and it's doing you a disservice in your business as well.
But yeah, and it literally just defeats the whole purpose.
Yes.
Like if you want people to come do what you're doing, invite them to go have coffee. Don't bring them on and then leave them hanging. Like that's just it. That's not fair. You just said that, but don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm off my soapbox.
Okay, guys. So like in the gist of it, that is front loading, right?
Yes.
It's literally
All of those things.
preparing your month ahead regularly. Okay. We focus on front loading the last few days of the month and then like the first week of the month.
Yeah.
We are focusing hard on our own personal businesses,
Yeah.
following up, closing orders, host coaching, booking parties, join conversations, getting newbies acclimated and involved in things, right? That is what we're focusing on the end in the beginning of a month. We call that front loading. We think it's a very vital and important part of your business. And so we wanted to share kind of how we do that.
Yep.
And give you guys some tangible tips so then you can take that into your business starting tomorrow. You can start front loading for October tomorrow. And so hopefully this was helpful for you guys too.